Welcome to Actually Controller, the podcast that is actually Controller, and we are actually in control of everything you are hearing right now. I'm so very sorry.
Hey, everybody. Normally, I don't intro, so they were hesitating. They were like, what?
Pause there. Who's going to start?
Right? This is Bob.
This is Chad.
This is Steve.
This is Jeff.
And Chris.
Jeff hesitated, almost messed up the flow.
Let's just keep the hesitations going on all day long. This is great.
He was going to go. So we were talking about concerts that we had been to, some of the best ones that we liked.
Our first ones.
And our first ones.
What was your first experience?
Oh, well,
Now it's time for our worst one.
So we did kind of just go clockwise. So, I mean, Chris.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead.
Okay.
Because this is going to be short and sweet for me. It was probably...
He's a pacifist.
Yeah.
Pacifist right through your face.
This is actually...
Only when he's seething.
This is a...
Gotta be honest right now.
I'm not lying.
That's a story for another time.
I'm seething right now.
Oh my God.
So usually when we say part two, that means we've already been drinking for about 45 minutes to an
Yes.
hour.
Yeah.
So
Hour.
It's fine.
Are you all ready?
unless you're like
Are
me,
you
it's
ready?
been like 3 till like 10.
Right.
Don't worry, that's how he writes.
Coming up to say what is
It's not
my
an
least
industry
favorite
secret.
concert is rough because like if I'm spending the money to go see the concert, I wanted to be there. But I'd have to say just because some of the people in the lineup for the show, it would have been Marilyn Manson's Mechanical Animals tour,
Oh, word.
which had mindless self-indulgence on it, and I
Yeah.
could not stand their performance. Something
That's
about
fair.
it just like drove into my ear and
That's-
made it.
That's just a
very-
visit to the merch
It's
booth.
Johnny.
I didn't even care to know the guy's name. I was like, just get these people.
I only
off
found out
stage.
because I wanted to send him hate mail.
But that
So much effort.
was probably my least.
I only sent him
least
one.
favorite. I don't know. There may have been like an Ozfest or two that I went and the lineup just was not as good as what I was anticipating.
I've never been to Ozfest.
I've actually been to like 3 or 4.
Oddly enough, my horrible
Flex.
concert experience
I was
all
Mr.
the flexing.
responsible
nothing to
for
do with
years.
the people, you know.
Like I got to see some amazing shows. I saw Marilyn Manson, Rob
you go.
Zombie.
There's a lot of a lot of new metal bands got their start. in
I got-
Ozfest.
I,
at one point I had an Ozfest sampler, and I'm like, Stained was on there.
OTAP. I
Oh.
Cold
saw
Chamber.
Cradle of Filth. I saw System of a Down
Yeah.
at an Ozfest.
Yeah.
I got to see a lot of great bands at Ozfest, but sometimes the lineup just isn't as good as what
yeah,
you were
because it's all-
anticipating. And depending on which stage you can get yourself to in time. And then sometimes the company that you have with you just made it rough. So,
Well,
but
Steve, you're technically up. Do you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, you go while I'm doing
Okay,
some
I'll-
equipment.
I'll go ahead.
Sorry,
So-
I broke my thingy.
So he broke his thing.
Like you said, we've been drinking. Okay,
more alcohol.
Okay, so technically, my worst show. I've seen a lot of great shows. I've been actually very lucky.
I've seen a lot of horrible shows.
I've seen a lot of terrible
No,
shows.
I've seen a lot of great
Turbo.
shows because I don't.
Just turbo.
I go out of my way to see as few as possible, but I make it worthwhile. So
He goes out of his way to see as few shows as possible.
but don't judge me. Drinking, evidently. Anyways,
Horrible shows or just shows in general?
just shows in general. I just don't go. We perform so much.
No, we don't.
Or well, yeah, we do.
You're
In
not
my
tracking.
opinion.
Anyway,
in my opinion.
wait.
Anyways,
All right, so bring it back.
Yeah.
bring it back.
Yes.
Retake? Do I just say
No,
retake?
No,
so it
because
makes
I'm
you
just
happy?
trying to figure it all out.
Sure.
No
sure.
hashtag retake.
No,
Hashtag
no, I don't
retake,
want to
sure.
go to this show.
I don't wanna go to this show.
Like, is that how it works?
Fuck.
Like,
Don't make me
Screw
go.
it. Screw it.
okay.
Screw it.
Scott.
Anyways,
Retake.
no, I said screw it.
Terrible.
Terrible. Screw it.
Terrible.
Anyways,
Hashtag retake.
so
Here's the thing.
I'll rephrase.
It's our new shirt.
Does that make sense? I'll
To be
rephrase.
fair.
Hashtag.
I don't
be
go out of
fair.
my way to go to a whole bunch of shows.
There you go.
There you
That
go.
makes sense. Complete
So
sense.
I try to make it worthwhile when I do. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? So my worst show is actually Jerry Contrell.
Oh,
Ironically, you had said in the last
How many
episode,
people are groaning right now.
I know, and
Yeah.
it hurts me to say it. So I went and saw Jerry Contrell with an ex of mine, and actually, Jeff knows the ex. Yeah, you do. So she was a very big fan of.
She was excited about seeing Jerry.
Yes,
Cantrell.
she was. So I wanted to go, but the sound quality, ironically, at Chicago House of Blues that you had talked about in the last episode was
It's a small venue.
horrible,
That can happen.
horrible that night.
Yeah, it's
So
hit or miss,
it was
unfortunately.
100% sound quality, not Jerry Cantrell, and I even got to meet him afterwards, and he was great. But the show itself, you couldn't hear him, and it was just
Little tap tap.
there was a couple of hired-on musicians, but yeah. So
Yeah, that's another issue. Like
yeah, it is, but it was the worst show.
Yeah.
I've it's just where I got to be with it.
I mean, that's fair. That's
So
fair.
I
I
mean,
mean, it was hands down.
It's not saying that the musician. And
No.
that's the other
No.
thing.
No.
With us saying that this is our worst show, quote unquote, it's not outright stating that
No.
for whatever
No.
reason that band is downright
Jerry-
horrific.
Jerry,
I don't know
you
because
are
I kind of just
amazing.
outed mindless self.
Oh, no, I'm
not saying
it's
the
not.
reason why I hated that performance.
I'm not saying that it's not
Oh,
the
no,
reason.
no,
I'm just
no.
saying that
No,
not is
wait till
it's
you get to
necessarily
my
not the
story.
only reason.
Just so we're clear, in the last episode, I said one of my favorites was a show that had mindless
Right,
self-indulgence.
right.
Hey,
But considering the fact of who they played with and opened for, and me pegging him with a beer was completely it outweighed his.
yeah, so I
Years.
end up getting
like
to see
you
them
guys.
twice because they opened up for 2 bands that I went to see at the Coliseum.
I am so sorry you had to see them twice.
Okay, so Jeff, do you want to jump in or you want me to jump
you
in?
should go first.
Okay, so
Jeff's favorite show is mindless
Jeff's got some
self-indulgence.
stories.
So mine is kind of a weird caveat. So I worked at the Coliseum for quite a few years,
Bless your heart.
and
Sorry.
He's
So-
a patriot.
yeah, so I worked at the Coliseum for quite a few years, and because of that, that means I worked technically quite a few concerts.
Oh yes, you were forced to. Watch
So there was
that.
more than a few concerts I was forced to
I don't
watch.
know. Wait.
No.
We gotta put the brakes on this.
And I know,
So wait,
and that's why I
Hold on.
wanted to.
Are we on a
immediately throw this-
technical foul here?
No,
Yeah.
and that's
Wait, we need to
I
do.
was thinking, you know.
There was
And-
forcible.
You didn't
There's a forcible. I'm working, and there's like I bought tickets.
Remember,
to.
you just
No,
judged
I-
me.
and I get that, and that's why I was going to state because I had a couple other ones I really wanted to, but it was just an outright. I was working the whole shift. I couldn't go anywhere.
So Steve's
This-
working this show.
No.
Forcibly watching.
This particular one,
So he was slacking
I had
for
had
his
to
money.
work earlier to actually set up all the stuff for the
and
show.
he was
But by the
free.
time the show had actually started,
He was free.
I was off. But I'm already there. There was a couple bands that I was interested to finally actually get to see. So I'm like, you know what? I'm already here. I'll go ahead and stick around for the show. This one was in the Expo Center. I don't know if anybody remembers this one. This one was headlined by Megadeth.
Okay.
This one had Dillinger Escape Plan
Yep. Yes.
on the show.
Yes, I
This
saw
one
this.
also had Fear Factory on.
Oh,
this
I was
one
so happy to
had-
see Fear Factory too.
And that's who I was like, oh, I finally get to actually
Yep.
check them off the list. And I get to do that again here in a couple weeks, which is awesome.
No.
But
Really?
yeah. So
Wow.
but the show, all of a sudden,
He is
I'm
that guy.
I'm going through, and there's other bands that were on because this was like a 10 band bill or anything like that. It was supposed to be a festival thing, but not a festival all at the same time. And you can talk, honey. What do you want to say?
Oh no, this is outside. This is outside podcast.
Some sort of.
It's okay. We'll give you a
All right,
treat
so-
if you speak.
No, Jeff
If you
was.
it's a Patreon. If you subscribe, you can see what just happened. Steve's trying to tell a story, and Jeff and Chad are having like a non-verbal.
There was
completely-
sign language
completely
and
non-verbal.
like thieves can't.
Like eyes
like,
were
it was-
winking in weird ways
Well,
at one
that-
another.
I don't think either one of
Jeff
them
had
really
been
know
asking me-
ASL, but they were communicating very well. They were. And then Steve said, "Okay."
Jeff had been asking me about a schedule to get over to do some vocal work, and I
Oh.
found out that I'm
Oh.
actually
Some
busy
vocal
because I'm
work.
going to a show on that Friday.
On Friday,
Yeah.
word.
So again, if
quote
you
unquote
watch-
vocal
I'm gonna
work.
watch. I need to watch that back. How did you? Where did that?
I don't know. Yeah.
Dude, I totally understood. He didn't need to stop everything. Me and him totally had it.
I'm trying to.
If
follow
anybody
Steve's
looks-
story, and then it's like,
And he was
who's
like,
on first?
"Oh,
I don't
son
know.
of a bitch," and
He's
I
on
was like,
third.
Now, I just saw a whole bunch of mannerisms happening out of my peripheral. I'm like, we can talk. We
no,
can use
no,
words.
like,
It's okay.
legitimately, you were in the middle of talking. He was telling me he wasn't available for Friday because there's a show he's going to, and I got it.
And by the time this releases, That show's already done.
Exactly.
That's
so
fair.
so
That's
it's
fair.
it's
So,
fine.
but
That's amazing. I love you guys.
Let's see any of them. I'm like,
oh, that was amazing. But the reasoning for it being the show I picked. So I was never huge into Dillinger, but I always got told once you see him live,
Yeah,
that's gonna be the thing that draws you in. That you're gonna love him. Oh, I forgot. Dream Theater was also on.
Oh,
what?
Dream Theater was also on that bill.
okay.
So
No, I wish I would have went and seen that.
So I'm there, and I'm like, okay, Dream Theater. I've gotten like shoved down my throat for years. So I finally get to
you
see
dirty,
him. Yeah.
dirty man.
Oh, don't worry. Chris already, had to get, his,
Chris had to help you.
had all of his throat stuff a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Listen back to the whole podcast to
Goat
hear
in
that.
the throat.
So,
Oh my god.
but with the
That's
with the
not a-
show,
That's not a tagline, okay?
oh, it is.
No.
Tag.
Chris Throat.
Molly Wop.
Hashtag Chris Throat. So,
Oh my gosh.
but
Hold
that
on, wait
show-
a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, stop.
No,
stop,
you weren't
stop.
here.
No, stop.
You don't get to partake.
Chris's mom, your dad.
Wait, what?
What?
That's how we said it on the road, right?
Oh, he's going back to the
Oh,
tour.
yeah. I'm like,
So hold on. So how is
my
mom?
dad?
So hold on. So how is mom
Yeah.
coating
We
dad's
didn't hear
throat?
Chris is mom.
Chris's
We heard
mom.
Chris's mom.
Yeah,
My
I heard
mom and
Chris's
his dad.
mom and Steve's dad. I'm like, what with Chris's mom and my dad? They don't even live in the same state. What the hell are you talking about?
I just can't. I would like to thank you all for being here with us. on this episode.
I'm glad you and I were both confused.
Man.
We were
Okay.
all-
Wow.
Yeah, but like really, you and me,
It's like I
what?
was.
So
Hold
there,
on.
Chris
I
is like,
realized
well, you
what
don't
was
talk about
happening
my mom.
after I said it.
don't go talk about my
And they
mama.
were confused.
And I'm just
it
like,
was great. I was ready for
Why you
birds
bringing
and
my
fists.
dad's
name into
this?
yeah, I'm like,
Keep my mom's name out your
All right, Will Smith.
I dropped
Oh,
it.
man.
he's gonna reach over, and he's gonna powder that hand on your face.
Our new
So-
modern pop culture
Yeah.
references now.
Will Smith.
we're
Chris about to slap me in front
Yep.
of everybody on Patreon.
Powder me.
It's like, keep my mom's name out your mouth. You look pretty.
So to wrap mine up, my God, Dillinger. I get that they were the intense, insane band.
Yeah.
But they went way over the top. I felt so bad for their tech.
Uh-oh.
I felt so bad for their tech. Both of their guitars went so over the top. I, in one song alone, watched the tech run them both 3 different guitars because they broke strings. With how aggressive they were playing and just flailing. I'm like, there's a point of, yeah, you're putting on a show, you're trying to be over the top and everything.
Right.
But when you have a guitar tech that is running for 2 guitarists, and just because for theatrics, you are literally making him run 6 guitars in one song,
Oh,
that's just being an a-hole.
Yeah.
That's not even being like over the top and like, dude, that was a great performance. That's you being an ass.
Retake.
No.
You're not allowed to say that, sir.
Yeah, that is.
That is
you
an
being
animal.
ass.
So it's
I like how
He's a
all of the
donkey.
language is allowed when Steve says it.
It's not
No.
like that.
There's
It's
certain
just
words.
there's certain
there's
Right.
one
No, it's called
particular
peeps.
word.
We're gonna have to,
do
we're
you
gonna have to put a
understand George
chalkboard up
Carlin's
with FCC
7
rules for
naughty
you?
words you can't say on television?
Yeah.
So
Of course.
but them and then Megadeth. My God.
Dude.
To
Okay.
give caveat to this though, at this time,
Okay.
I was actually a Megadeth fan. I had multiple albums of theirs
I mean, that's fair.
that I spun, not all the time, but
Symphony of
regularly enough.
Destruction was
Symphony
decent.
Symphony of Destruction, Euthanasia, and Cryptic Writings. I spun all 3 of those
loved
albums
Holy Wars too. I mean,
eh,
that was-
all on a regular basis, and I was actually a fan. And then I saw them, and I'm like,
yeah, it's not anything
Ugh.
like what was recorded.
are you kidding me?
Like all these guys are leaving right now. I don't-
Oh,
Well,
we've
I
been
think
down
Chris
here.
I think Chris just went there, so this is about to turn into a really, really intimate visit.
They're Sharon.
Yeah, sharing is caring. We'll see if they consider it fun.
Our
but-
2-parter episodes get a
So
little
was
wild.
that the Megadeth show where he basically stopped playing in between his guitar and people were like, "Wait a minute, your guitar's still playing?" Or?
No, this one was the one where they decided that the turnout wasn't good enough because
and they
were the
cut
headline.
out early.
They ended up cutting their set almost by 25 minutes
Yeah.
short.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it was like
Yeah,
barely.
they were just like, and we're done.
I knew that there was
Yeah,
one
we
that
already
was
got
like a
paid.
15-minute set, and that was the one you were at, like a 15, 20-minute set.
For Megadeth?
Yeah.
No, they had an hour-long set that they were supposed to play,
And
but
they
had
cut
only,
it
Supposed to,
out
but
for,
they cut
like-
it
Yeah,
to
they
like
cut it,
15
like-
to 20 minutes.
they cut it to
Exactly.
it ended up, I think, being almost a half hour by the time everything was
Ouch.
done. But yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that's rough.
because I think they were on the Cryptic writing tour at that
Right.
point in time, and I was like, I really dig this album. This is going to be cool.
Mhm.
And then I saw that, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
again,
frustrating.
I want to re-emphasize again, just because we're stating that this was our worst show.
Yeah. It doesn't
Isn't
mean that
a
these
one-
artists are bad or anything like that.
other than what Bob and Chad have both clearly stated numerous times, outside of the exception of mindless self-indulgence. So
Don't jump in on that.
Well,
I,
that's
like, I
fine
kinda-
if you like them, but I didn't. I just could not get into it, and it made the show bad for me. Well, not the entire show because I still enjoyed Marilyn Manson, but then again, it was Mechanical Animals.
So he only somewhat liked it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to re-emphasize that just because
Yeah,
the
we don't-
show sucked complete and utter donkey balls.
Doesn't mean that
That the band
artist-
does.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that the artist is horrible. Or well, sometimes it does, but
Yeah,
But
in
yeah.
certain situations, but it sounds like for the most part that's only been one occurrence for the band thus far of why the worst show was the worst show.
well, we lost a couple of them. They took off.
Yeah, so
Well,
that's
it's your
okay. At least it's your
so
turn.
is it my turn? I'm
Yep.
supposed to talk about the worst horrible.
Yep, because the only other one that
terrible-
we're missing then
Yeah,
after
what
you
is
is Chris.
your worst show that you've been to?
Okay, so I believe I was in high school at the time, and there
This
was
one
an
time?
there was an Oz. Yes, this one time.
This one time in high school?
Exactly.
Back when he was a wee little lad.
I opted to caravan ride down to Ozfest the same year that Tool and Snot
Oh.
and
Yeah,
all these other
I
guys.
wasn't there for that year.
Yeah, that so we were going down to see the pinnacle best Ozfest I think that could possibly be seen.
Oh yeah, well, especially if you're throwing Snot into the mix. That
Yeah.
was, I think, that was their only year that
It was
they
the
were
only
on.
year that they were on
Did you
because he
just
died.
throwing
That
Snot in the mix?
yeah. Snot the band Snot. So
I know.
at any rate, we get there, and we're getting patted down, and people we came with decided to bring stuff with them that they shouldn't. So of course, all of us get drug off to the side.
Keep in mind, by the way, this is way back, well before any state considered anything
Legal,
It is an
yeah.
option.
Yeah.
Like literally at that point, the cigarettes that I had in my sock, I was afraid that they were going to find.
Yeah.
Because it be like that, So, at any rate, it sounded like it was a fabulous show from where we were sitting. We just didn't get to see any of it. And honestly, it was a fabulous show from what I heard
Did
from
my
the
wife mix that
background.
drinks?
Oh, Chris, was that
Chris,
a
are
bit
you
too
good?
much?
You good?
Chris is about to.
I should have started.
He just took like 3 shots at once. That's what happened right there.
dude.
So, for everybody not watching on Patreon,
We're not trying to encourage you to watch, but
No.
you should watch the
You should watch the
oh my God,
Patreon.
that was a good face.
Ooh.
I
Wow,
was
we got
expecting-
silent
I was
conversations.
expecting a
We
Jim
got-
and Coke, and I got like Jim with a little bit of Coke.
He got Jim.
So we
Not
spent the entire I was only able to buy the first day ticket. I wasn't there for like the
You weren't
extra
for the
days.
3-day.
Exactly. So I'm hearing Snot on stage, and I'm hearing people.
Oh,
Every time you say it's not, like I just
Dude, they were great.
I'm
man.
hearing
they were
Snot as
fabulous. they were fabulous, man, and I really did.
Just so we're
regret-
clear,
I have
I
one of their
didn't-
albums.
Okay,
I
go
heard
ahead.
everything you were saying.
Oh, okay.
I kept my ears in. It is very disappointed that you had no clue how to hide your cigarettes.
Well, no, I mean they were stuffed in my sock. It was
He
fine.
was like
So,
14. No.
so your cigarettes really sucked. I
Cigarette-
smelled your feet.
Okay, wait. Cigarette is code for something. else.
Sure.
Cookies.
Sure, I was talking about
Cookies.
cigarettes.
Cookies.
All right, all
I was
right.
talking about
I
cigarettes.
had cookies hidden in my
In my
socks.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
He had
Anyway.
Colorado cigarettes.
That's some nasty ass
Colorado.
Oreos.
Oh my god!
But yeah, it was the worst show that I could have
I
possibly
I have
imagine.
no idea what you're talking about.
Chips Ahoy.
It was the worst show I could possibly imagine because I spent it all with cops.
Right.
Oh
Jeez,
man,
you
that
did.
sucks.
So you missed the whole show.
Yes, we missed the.
You got to hear the show.
Well, no,
So
you
not
just couldn't
only
see the show.
not only did we miss the whole show, the show was still going when we got told we were not allowed to go back into the show.
Okay, so
So your worst show
That
is
would
that you
be the
didn't
worst
get
show,
to
but-
enjoy the show.
Yeah, well,
what was the
and that there was
actual
a
show you
caravan.
saw?
There was a caravan of 12
It was
of
an
us.
Ozfest. He said.
Yeah, it was an Ozfest, and there was a caravan of 12 of us.
But you're not looking at the
Yeah,
optimistic
here's-
outlook of this.
Here's the
You learned a
worst
very
part of it.
valid lesson. Learn to hide your stuff.
Here's the
Valuable.
worst part of it. The person that was getting busted was the person who was driving.
Oh.
And so we had
That's
to all
rough.
We're all moaning with
individually.
the. I've been there.
I've been
We
there,
all
yeah.
had to. Hi, Mom and Dad, I love you. I just want
Hey,
you to
remember
know.
that time?
well,
But we all had to individually call our family.
Pre-cell phones.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
You remember?
pre-cell
I remember.
I
phones.
remember.
And I had to call and make sure that I had our ride back.
You know,
Yeah.
on a side note,
After getting busted
just because
with DRUGS.
Colorado cigarettes.
okay,
Cool.
hold on.
Yeah.
Just so this will be a show of hands. So if you want to see who
I would have
raises
loved to
it,
see any
so
of those bands.
all right, how many of us have actually had their parents say, "Oh, I totally knew you did this, but you know better."
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just going to say that I don't want to talk about my parents
I-
for certain reasons.
Well, fair,
Yeah.
fair.
You're
But-
dredging up some deep, dark secrets.
Look,
here.
well, okay, sorry,
You better not be talking about
Just
mother.
saying.
But
Just
again-
saying.
but yeah.
Just to reiterate, I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, and thank you.
Because we actually do know that at least one of them does listen to most of these episodes.
Okay, fair. Well,
that's quite real.
luckily,
So-
so save your.
So this is back with like payphones and like like you said, pagers.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was at a bar last night that had a payphone. So I was like, oh, I wonder if it still works. And I'm like, yeah, that's their phone. Like, like
wow.
they use like it's O'Sullivan's.
yeah.
If you call O'Sullivan's,
Yeah, you're
for
calling
ring,
on the payphone.
You're going to ring through on their payphone. That's their phone.
Yeah, legit.
Yep.
So I wonder if you need some change. No, that's their phone. They literally use that as their phone.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Oh, that's a long
So,
time ago.
Chris,
Yeah, it's your turn now.
You're
your turn
up,
now.
bud.
I'm gonna
Worst
be the
show.
dick. I'm gonna be
Hey,
the dick.
bada bada.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
So my worst show, I can tell
would
you.
have been a controller
I've been-
show before you joined the band.
That's why I turned you down the first 3 years.
Oh.
See, they're saying,
Chad
oh,
had
and
to
I'm
offer-
going, yeah.
Chad
I
had
get
to make
it.
certain offers in my DMs.
that's right, baby.
No.
That it wasn't for the band.
Well,
That wasn't the offers.
I'm here now.
I'm just saying.
This
Steve
isn't
was,
an audition.
Steve was really
I got 1 year
interested.
in now.
We just
Well-
wanted your percussion, you know.
Chad was into the DMs. It may
We
not have
wanted-
been for the
Air
band,
quote.
but it
We
doesn't matter.
wanted that thrash.
I'm far
So
from
tell me
that.
what a flam is
So-
again.
So in 2010, I was dating someone, and we went to a Coliseum show. One of the opening band had,
Was a pick
had
offered?
our song. No,
There's
So-
no pick offered?
I have never seen. I've never seen. It was kind of. It wasn't. Okay, so there's two memorable moments. One, Papa Roach was on the bill. They were second.
Okay.
Saving Abel, Papa Roach, and Jacoby Shaddix. They just released Lifeline. I remember this because during this dude, it had to be a 100-foot cable, maybe longer. So, if you've ever been to an arena show or if you've been in Fort Wayne and been to the Coliseum, he left the stage. He crowd surfed through the stage. He crowd surfed through the crowd. He ended up.
I was letting you
even I
just
took
do
a
your
moment.
thing.
I didn't even catch that. He corrected himself.
Oh, no,
and
I
was
did.
Like,
Wait, I was
I
like,
did,
wait,
but I
wait.
was just looking at him like, I want to see how long we
So
can
he
roll
went
this
full
one.
ghost, is what
Okay,
you're
we're on
saying.
the same page.
So he,
okay.
so
went
he's
full
he's,
ghost.
he's holding a corded microphone. He
It's
crowd
worse than
surfs.
my mess
He
up.
crowd surfs over to the side of the like he's directing people. Like he gets
I
over
don't
to
feel
the
as
side
bad
of to our side where we're seated. Seated. Damn it.
seated.
Okay, think before you speak.
Wait, hold on. Take another drink of this.
You'll be all right.
Take
I was
another
not-
drink of this.
No,
It'll
Chris.
help.
I was trying to stir it.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris.
Stir
Is there any
Stir.
booze left in the cup, or did you get it all in the first sip?
It's all Coca-Cola now.
So that
Yeah.
anybody
Makes
that
his-
isn't
he
watching,
makes his way to
his
the
finger
200
hurts.
section, and he ends up like 14, 16 rows up, and like this cable. I just remember seeing it. But anyway,
There
the
was
reason why
poor tech that was out there literally
Oh,
snapping
yeah,
on
no,
extensions.
There was.
So he went straight. So wait a minute.
What's
So
he
he
doing? Like, and the security had to help too because like he's out in the middle.
so he went straight Chris,
the
like
reason
Kiss.
the reason why it was the worst show is because
Yes, he went straight
we,
Chris.
We
Chris,
went there.
yeah.
We went there to see Saving Abel. I knew that Papa Roach puts on a heck of a show. Like if you've
Yes.
never seen him live, I know some of their stuff's cookie cutter music, but also like Jacoby is energetic as all get out. Like he enjoys performing. He has a good time performing. He's a real good hype in the crowd. Sorry, Steve's yawning. I'm sorry, I'm boring. Jesus.
It's okay. I'm paying attention.
is
it
Talk
all-
to me.
Is your past your
Talk to
bedtime,
me.
Grandpa?
Chris,
Is it
there's
okay?
more people here
As
listening.
long as you know.
don't
Yeah.
focus
You
on
know
Steve.
what? The
Why is it all
headliner-
about
Now
Steve?
listen, the headliner was Avenged Sevenfold. And
Okay.
there was the third band, the direct support was Buck Cherry.
Okay.
Okay.
If you didn't know.
I'm no longer interested.
So
Oh.
prior to the show, like between Saving Abel and which had the original singer, so I was hyped for that. Between Saving Abel and Papa Roach, the local radio station came out and said, "We regret to inform you that tonight, Avenged Sevenfold will not be performing because of illness." Turns out the drummer had alcohol poisoning from the night before.
You know, that's a hell of a illness for certain drummers to occasionally get.
I mean,
I've never had it. I
sometimes.
don't
I don't know
Really?
what you're talking about.
never once experienced it.
We've never
I've
dealt with
never
that.
seen that at all.
You have not. You have not.
Yes,
No,
we
I
I've
have.
not had alcohol. Anyway,
No, now
Yes.
from you.
hi, my name is Chris. Is that what's going on? Is that
Yeah.
what's going on right here?
So
So
this
anyway,
is
so
it's a lost
so they're on-
joy.
Hey,
listen, so
first
they're on
step
stage.
submitting.
They're on stage and they're saying, "We regret to inform you that Avenged Sevenfold will not perform. However, we will have Buck Cherry perform a second headlining set." If you've never seen this band live,
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
my ears were bleeding
it's so
2
bad.
songs in, and I will never ever pay to see this band live ever again. Even though they have some great radio hits,
Yes.
and butt rock,
There you
and like, if you want to get your if you want to get your lady going, hi,
Hi.
bitch, bitch is a good word. You could use that, but
Bang.
I'm
I
just
know,
saying,
but
like,
I love that
we
all we
literally-
needed to do for reference.
Hey.
both my girlfriend and I were like, "Are you kidding me?" So when they play and here's the kicker, man.
Here's
They
the
didn't-
thing.
They
Here's the
didn't
thing.
use that song
To be
as their
fair.
like teaser. They played it like 6 songs in their first set, air quote first set. So when they play that, we're like, "We out." Like
Right.
we're going.
Right.
Like it was horrible.
Hey.
So I
Hey.
did. I
Hi.
did. Fast forward. I did.
You guys ever seen the movie Grown Ups, where it's
Eight-
like it's amazing? Hey.
8 years or 8 years later, I did see them again at Pierre's, but I don't remember the lineup.
Were they better?
I remember staying for literally 30 seconds. Like,
Did you?
nope.
Did you hear? Hi.
Because here's
Hey.
well, let's be fair. So I've seen bands, and I will call out Theory of a Dead Man. I've
Yep.
seen bands that have they have
Hey.
tonality issues.
Oh, where-
Yeah.
Say?
yeah.
So Tyler, I mean, I appreciate your music if
Hey,
you play
no-
outdoors.
Performance.
Tyler, don't
Yeah.
don't ever play in a,
Dude,
in a
I'm-
small club.
Like
not,
so-
not
real
every
shit, I'm
performance is a
nobody.
gold
For real
seal
stuff.
of performance here.
So I was thinking, like, maybe they just sounded bad at the Coliseum. Maybe they'll be okay at Pierre's, like a
Right.
smaller 1,200, 1,800 club or whatever.
No.
No.
Was it
No.
bad?
But
Wow.
But was it
Theory
bad?
of, yeah, it was.
Right,
I
bad.
left after
Bad.
30 seconds. Theory of a Dead Man.
Was
Yeah.
real bad.
They sound great outside. You get them in a big arena like show, they sound great. You
Right.
put them in a small club, you how flat their notes are. You hear how cheesy their stuff is.
Oh.
So not helpful is what you're saying.
Not helpful.
So anyway, my worst show was in 2010. It was Buck Cherry doing a double headlining set
Ouch.
because Avenged Sevenfold's drummer couldn't make the show
That's
Aw.
rough.
because he partied too hard the night before.
I
Yep.
mean, that's
Well,
it's
what
rough.
really happened was he goes, "I got to go where tomorrow?"
No,
I don't-
no, not now.
So
Not now.
no, fun fact. That was back when you got physical ticket stubs.
Yes.
So because Avenged Sevenfold
I
was the
remember
headliner,
You remember?
I remember.
I was able to get a refund on my tickets because they were the headliner and they failed the show.
Okay.
And then back then, you had to mail the ticket back.
Yeah.
You had to mail the ticket back to
Before
the
you would
Ticketmaster.
get-
Yeah, because
Get your credit.
all the tickets
So
were
I
mailed.
went to local FedEx Kinko's and had the ticket not only like copied, but like they understood what I was trying to do. They copied it on like cardstock, similar.
Okay.
They
So-
sent the cardstock copy instead.
No, I sent them the real
Oh.
copy
Oh,
because I
okay.
wanted to make sure I.
Don't worry, Ticketmaster's not that dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I still got my like $70 per ticket.
Right. 70 in 2010.
Yeah.
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 It's expensive. So like, but I have a copy of the actual ticket. Like it kind of feels real, except it's not perforated, where you can
Right.
tear the. Yeah.
Don't worry, we can perforate it for you, bud. You got to keep it perforated.
You gotta keep it perforated.
So, interesting fact about my horrible concert go-to. That was the only Oz Fest that I went to.
Really?
That was the only Oz Fest that I was able to.
See,
make it
I never had the luck of actually having the money
to. Yeah.
to get to an Oz
Yeah.
Fest.
That was the.
There
big-
was multiple years where I'm like, man, I want to go.
And
Could
I
not even afford it one
and
day.
I
ever.
spent
And
the
I only
entire
did one
time in a
days.
police tent,
Yeah.
and then they made me leave.
I only ever did like single day, like whatever the big headliner was. That was the day that I'd go.
See-
We bought 3, and
not
the
a festival
person
guy,
that
man.
had the
I
car.
love festivals. I mean, I had a lot of fun with like Lollapalooza. I went the one year, but that was like a big year because of Tool
short.
and everything.
Yeah.
So Jeff, Jeff,
short.
yeah, Jeff. The big thing
And
is
well,
what'd you learn?
the thing is the venue. Which what is it called? I remember it
learned
as
that,
Deer Creek.
It's now Ruoff.
Yeah, the Ruoff.
All right, so
Actually,
I
the
learned
funny thing
from that.
about that is
Honestly, if
we
I'm gonna
were driving back from a college tour yesterday for my son,
Real.
and we drove past the sign that said
I learned
Ruoff, and
drive
my
yourself.
wife just randomly out of nowhere. It's always going to be Deer Creek. I don't
And
know
it
what-
will.
I don't give
to
a
the,
shit what
to
they
the
call
concert goers who have ever been to Deer Creek.
Uh,
It will always be Deer Creek.
Same
Yes,
way with
Deer Creek.
up in the
Feels-
Detroit area. Anybody who's ever been to Pine Knob,
Pine
it
Knob.
will always
All
be
right.
Pine Knob.
Yeah.
All right, so
But-
wait. So
but,
your story.
like,
I got a
uh,
side topic to finish up the
when
today's podcast.
when you're at Deer Creek and the entire lawn is at the back,
Yeah.
it had all seating up front, and then your general admission was in the lawn on the back half of the arena.
Yep.
When Tool came out, that entire lawn turned into one giant circle pit.
Yeah.
Dude, I would have loved to see that, but I was,
was-
busy in the police tent.
It
No, you
was-
were. That was a different show.
oh, where?
Yeah,
You
this
would've
was
seen that one.
this was Palooza, not Ozfest.
Okay. Where?
But yeah, the entire lawn turned into just one giant circle
Sorry,
pit.
Dad.
That would have been amazing.
No, it's mom.
The only show
And
that
Mom.
the only show that I ever saw down there at Deer Creek, it would have been the Family Values tour.
Oh,
Went
that
down
would've
there
been-
for Family Values when Stone Sour was co-headlining.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
Korn.
Nice.
Yeah, so that
And,
you got to see Corey before he took his mask off for that, right?
Yeah, for Slipknot and everything because
Yeah.
that was first album.
Yeah,
for Stone
so
Sour.
first Stone Sour, it was just Slipknot on stage. Well, it was Corey.
It was Corey and Jim.
With the masks.
Yeah,
on
with
still.
the mask off.
Really?
Yeah, because that was the very first anybody had really seen any of the Slipknot members'
faces.
faces
Yeah.
was like just a few months prior with that
Just
album cycle.
Ironically, shortly after Corey Taylor took his mask off, he started. He did a guest appearance with Falling in Reverse on one of their songs.
I don't remember that one.
Yes, it was a song called Drugs.
Now, not only does he have Stone Sour, but
yeah.
he's doing
Yeah.
his own solo like acoustic.
yeah, the
part.
CMFT
Yep.
stuff and all that stuff. But yeah, it would have been the Lollapalooza one. But yeah, that would have been at the back area of the general admission on the yard and everything. And that whole area turned into a massive pit as well. But
I saw Stone Sour here.
That
So,
lawn is
you know, it's
intense
odd when
it
you
opens
when
up.
you know Corey Taylor as Slipknot and
Yeah.
then Stone Sour,
And it-
Yep.
but the Stone Sour comes to town and he's got a confetti gun,
yeah,
and that's
Hold
the
on.
thing. Like there's
Don't
no
judge.
fog. There's no. I mean, the kind of lights, whatever. But his thing was like, how many times did he shoot the confetti gun at the Clyde Theater?
dude,
It
whatever.
was
Hold
like-
on, hold
He's
on.
getting his money
no,
out of it.
did he
Phew.
ever run out of
Frick you.
ammo?
yeah. Retake.
No,
okay,
because
then you can't
no,
judge
because
him.
literally at the for
He's
the finale he
legitimately
shot it like,
getting his
and I'm
money
like,
out of it.
I'm like,
Has
this is
nothing wrong with
like,
this.
this is This is.
I want.
This is not what I was
want a
expecting.
confetti gun.
not
I
what
know
you
you're
were
not getting one, but
Can we get wacky wall
No.
crawlers?
I mean,
Dude, let's
watching
get silly
Ozzy
string.
Osbourne
I
on
want the
stage.
wacky-
He's
Let's
got
do
these
silly
little
string.
pulls that he has
Wacky
these
roll.
water guns that
Throw 'em
you
at the
pull the
wall.
plunger
Can
and
we
it
get
soaks
the
up the water,
wacky
and then it would just
waving
spray
arm
the crowd.
incredible-
Ozzy did that.
I would love
all
that.
the
So,
time.
so what's the biggest gimmick you've
We'll
ever
have to-
seen
we'll
on
just
stage?
buy 'em.
That's like,
We'll do it.
the
We'll
biggest gimmick.
We'll just
like,
blow it
was
up at the
right now
next show.
we're trying to throw
Wacky
ourselves in.
inflatable tube men.
I
That's
went-
what we need.
I went and
Wacky
saw,
waving arm inflatable too,
I
man.
went and saw ICP.
Okay.
So Fago.
Fago.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Fago. I don't know, man. Like seeing
Only good one. Only
So
good
thank-
Fago's red pop.
seeing
I don't know. Root beer is really good too.
Rob
Yeah.
Zombie and the incredible amount of pyrotechnics.
Dude,
I
I'm
cannot.
telling you.
I cannot decide if it's more Rob Zombie who has more fire or if it's more Rammstein.
Okay,
I've seen
so-
both.
I'm
Rammstein.
gonna go with Rammstein on the
Well,
Rammstein.
I've only
Rammstein.
seen-
We're in
he
agreement,
sets
Steve.
himself on fire.
So
I've
Like I
only
said-
seen Rob Zombie indoors,
In the
except for
last-
the the one Ozfest,
But in
which
the-
again they're under canopy. They can't have that.
Yeah.
So
I
in the
didn't
last
see
podcast,
Pyro.
I mentioned Rob Zombie as being one of my favorite shows
Yes.
because it was a Rock on the Range, now the
Yep.
Sonic Temple or whatever, and he had hella pyro.
Yeah.
And I'm out in the I didn't want to be down in the GA. I wanted to be up in the bowl.
Yep.
And you could still feel the heat. But in addition to that, like they had people walking on stilts. They had a lot of.
Yeah.
There goes this nipple piercing. you gotta
got jealous.
subscribe.
Yeah.
You gotta subscribe.
You got jealous of that pit
Yeah.
still after all these
Not
years.
OnlyFans. We are not on OnlyFans yet.
Only
Uh,
flams. Only flams.
Only
So you're just
flams.
gonna be hitting
Only
your
flange.
snare once really hard, and that's the.
But the
entire
amount of
video.
pyro they had, I
Controller
thought was
after
amazing
dark.
until I had
We're-
some
we're
friends
about
go
to play
see
poker.
Robstein live. Now, Robstein live.
They're amazing.
I want.
I want to.
Rom-
Never
Rammstein-
seen him.
So they
I
build
would love
like
to.
they build. Their tour is always. They don't have shows back to back to back.
No.
It's 2 days, 2 days.
Yep.
2 days, because they have to travel with like 17 semi trucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because of
they've
all
got
their
So
stuff.
they, were,
Yeah.
they were at Soldier Field. Was it last year?
Mhm.
Was it last year?
Yeah,
Something
they
like
did
that, yeah.
their first U.S. run last
Which was
year.
a
in
decent
years
drive
and
for
years and years.
from Fort
Right.
Wayne.
Yeah.
So Jeff, Donald, Carrie.
Yeah, I was
had some
jealous
people
when
go,
I saw that they had
Oh
gone.
my gosh! So they sat. So one, I have heard in Columbus they were so loud they were heard from like 17 miles away.
Something like that. Yeah, I heard the same thing.
Something
It was
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Wow.
But
They're
two,
so
like,
loud.
Do hostage your alarm clock.
They build like a 2.5 story or 3 story set.
Yes.
And they have not only they have pyro on stage, but they build pyres out in the crowd.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
there's
wow.
there's fire going off like behind the crowd.
Oh,
And
did
yeah,
you,
in the crowd.
do people have
like,
to sign
through the
waivers?
well, they have it. They have it all.
No,
like,
they're just
cordoned
all
off.
barred off.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
they're
like,
all
no,
cordoned
yeah,
off.
it's like you're like
This
30
isn't like a
feet in the
death
air.
clock show.
It makes it.
That would be great.
It passes OSHA standards. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's not a death clock show.
Not death clock.
I do remember they
Don't
did,
be mean to Death Clock. I love
one
those
of,
guys.
One
Oh
of my
no, I
friends
would
took a
love to
video
make
of
it
the
to
end
Blue
of the
Ridge
show,
to watch.
and they
that.
go up. They go up like this weird elevator. They're all sitting,
Yeah.
and then like it goes pitch black, and everything disappears, and it's fire.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm like,
I wish that we also had the money to have a full orchestrated show
Oh,
like that too.
Yes.
So subscribe to our Patreon. So
Yes,
Please.
and actually, if you are a pyrotechnician, please hit me up. I just like fire.
yeah.
Just I want to know more. Anyway,
So we but yeah, as far as shtick and everything, I guess pyro
Yes, I
thing
peed
because I
the
don't really
bed,
know. Well, I guess Guar.
Guar is
Guar
awesome.
Guar is
Guar is
awesome.
awesome. Dude, getting eaten by the worm
The
is the
blood.
coolest. I don't
never
care.
have gotten drug up on stage before.
I got
but
eaten the first time I saw Guar.
buddy
Not,
Robert.
not at a Guar
What
concert.
was it
I,
about?
I heard
very
you got
Don't they
drug
raise
up on
time
stage at other
at a
situations.
Guar concert, and I got fed to the worm, and it's like
It was New
instant
Kids on the
stage
Block,
dive. It
right?
was amazing.
yes.
Okay.
It
Nice.
was amazing. And you're covered in slime and blood
See-
and puke and like
Bob
other
wants to keep
things.
poking about the New Kids on the Block thing.
That's
it's
fine.
all because
That's it.
honestly,
No.
he was kissing a New Kids on the Block poster
Listen,
when he was a kid.
when they come back, to,
it wasn't
when they come
just
to
kissing.
Indianapolis, I'm buying us
It
all
wasn't
tickets.
just kissing.
Yes.
We're gonna go.
We're gonna go.
It's
Yep.
gonna be a controller night
Yes.
out. We're all gonna
Yes.
go to
And we're gonna be up there and be
Indianapolis.
like, oh.
So, you know
And then,
Whoa.
the funny thing is, he's gonna know more of them than he.
Oh, yeah.
So if
I
you guys
have no clue on
if
any
you-
New Kids
if
on
you
the Block
guys
show,
happen
music.
he
to-
says this.
if you
He
guys,
said he's gonna sing
no,
along.
if it was Backstreet Boys, I'd own it.
If you guys happen to be watching this on Patreon and you'd like to see us go to a concert, let us know, and we will do it all together.
And I don't know. Bob might not, because it has to be worth his while.
Okay.
He does.
So make sure it's worth his while,
Yeah.
and then let us know what concert we should go see. And yeah, if you
Dude,
if you pay us, we will go.
No, because remember, even when Bob has a free chance, he doesn't go.
If it's worth his
We'll
while,
make sure he
if they
goes.
If it's
pay
worth
us,
my while.
we will go. All right, yeah, and we'll go see your favorite bands.
We'll go see. Yeah. Maybe.
As long as they're in our area.
Okay, at least we agree. Maybe.
Wait,
Caveat.
what does
And
Bob,
you
what
paid-
does Bob always say? That's Jeff's opinion, and Jeff's opinion over.
Yeah.
He's entitled to his.
He's
He's entitled to his wrong ass opinion.
No, but I'm serious.
Yeah.
If NKOTB comes through, we're gonna go.
I
That's
think,
fine.
I think it would be really cool for
I got
all
some
of
friends
us
who are
to
in the
go.
fan club. I'll buy you tickets, Steve.
Thanks, bud. And by some
Even
friends,
if it's
do you
just me
mean
and you.
yourself?
I
Even
have-
if it's just me and you,
I
we'll
have
go.
some friends.
Even if it's just me and you.
Well, I was
Yes.
trying to get him to go up to a
Yes.
show with me in Detroit
Who?
so we could hang out.
Who?
But you
But he
took
said
Chad
no.
instead.
No, this is a different show.
Who?
Well, Cinco de Mayo. It's
Who?
fun, man.
I'm
Come
I'm
on.
a freaking owl right now. I
We-
stopped
actually-
myself.
To
Who?
be fair, actually, we
Here's the
might
thing.
be in the studio at that point.
Yeah, this
We
is
might be.
true.
True.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So, a little spoiler for everyone. If you've gotten this far into this episode,
It's not my fault.
we are hoping, so long as all of the writing's done and our producer loves us,
Did you hear that? He's gonna have to love us.
Mr. Putt.
so long as our
We're gonna have a
producer
conversation.
loves us, we're hoping to be in the studio recording not one, not two, but 3 different releases all at the same time.
This
Wait,
is
wait, wait.
true.
What?
8 tracks, right?
8 tracks.
8 tracks.
We're going back to 8 tracks.
We're going
Hey,
on 8 tracks.
8 tracks. Wait, so the cool thing is,
So you'll never hear us.
You are the drummer.
I'm the drummer.
You're the drummer.
What?
You're the drummer,
Congratulations, drummer.
for not 1, not 2, not 3, but technically actually 4 releases because
Technically
one of them
4.
is not going to be done over at Putt Studio.
No, because I'm a jerk and I was like, hey guys, I decided to write a bunch of stuff and you're all going to be on it. Let's go.
And the hilarious thing is
I said
I'm
it
not
just
even,
like that.
I'm not
You really
even
did, actually.
singing on all of it. What?
Not
He's
all of it.
Well, not on all of it, but he may very well show up and be the. He's going to show up and be in at least one of these.
Wait, is this the same thing you told me? I've got to learn some vocals too.
I
Yes,
just
it's
got
okay.
kicked
But
when
I'm
he
just
said
a drummer, man.
Not
Come on.
this time.
Nope.
It's all right. You've already.
Nobody's ever just the one thing in this band.
I
If
just
you
went to
if you are
Contrøller.
Except me.
from
That's
this
it. I quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve's like, yeah. We just let Bob do
Well,
his
you're
thing.
not allowed to quit, man. That's just not how it works.
You're now in a
Oh.
whole bunch of episodes of the podcast. There's proof.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah,
go
it's
Proof
anywhere.
that I
Yeah.
exist.
You can't just walk.
Only if you subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Otherwise, I'm just some
so,
random voice that you don't know.
Follow us on all of the social medias and
Mhm.
whatnot. Stay out of trouble with whatever you're doing. At least just don't end up going to a 3-day concert.
Don't get caught.
And remember
End
to
up
stir your drink.
sitting inside of a
Don't get caught in
Always
the back.
remember to stir your drink.
Yeah,
and stir your drink.
Stir
Yeah.
your drink.
And if you're in a public space, don't do it with the straw that's attached to you.
and don't get caught at
I
New
think-
Kids on the Block.
I think we pretty much
This
covered.
is just great advice. I think we need a whole session of just
we're gonna
good
have
advice by
we're,
Contrøller.
we're
Don't
gonna have
eat yellow snow kind
we're
of.
gonna have an episode called
Yellow
Dad
Snow
Advice
has tanked.
with
dad
Control.
advice. Oh, dad advice with
Dad
Contrøller.
advice.
No. Based on the last 2 podcasts, no.
what are
No.
you trying to say?
I never said it was gonna be good dad advice.
How many times, Jeff? How many times did you apologize to your parents?
Well, I mean, that's fair.
Only
I mean,
3
it's- it
times
is-
this
when
podcast.
are you saying when I'm out of line,
just-
I
no,
shouldn't
no, I'm-
apologize
no,
for
no.
when I'm out
saying-
of line?
Oh,
no,
Jeff-
wait, what are you
Jeff's
saying?
mom and dad need to
Dad
give Chris a call.
advice. Dad advice? No.
Dad advice.
I
mean-
never said it was going to be good.
It doesn't have
dad
to be
advice.
good advice. It's just dad advice.
It's just that
Just
because
dad
being realistic, how rarely is it that most dad advice that any kid gets is actually good advice?
It depends on how
All right,
sarcastic your dad
I'm
is.
sorry,
Oh,
Dad, and I'm
oh,
sorry, Mom, but he's
Uh
real.
oh. Chris is having a moment.
Oh, Chris is
He
on his
just
phone.
he just found New Kids on the
What
Block.
date? What date
tickets.
is May 26th? Wait a minute.
He's taking Steve.
We're all gonna relive
We're
your
gonna-
first concert.
We're road tripping to Rosemont, Illinois on May
Are we?
26th.
Where the hell
No,
is
we are
Rosemont,
not.
Illinois?
It's outside of Chicago.
Are
Okay.
It's
how
about
much?
it's literally
How
about
much?
40 minutes north of Chicago.
Oh God, that is New Kids on the Block
How
tickets.
much
it is. It
I-
is.
I had
Wait,
to
wait,
look.
wait, wait.
Who-
Anybody-
who are
wait,
they
wait, wait.
playing
And I
with?
don't know. You
Wait,
probably
you
can't
said
see it.
26th?
Whoop. May 26th.
No.
It's a Friday.
That's a Friday.
It is.
Not interested.
It's Memorial Day weekend.
I
I'm
gotta
probably
use the
It-
rest.
it's not worth
I
my
probably
while.
I'm buying you a
Oh.
ticket. You are.
I'm not going by myself.
Yes, you are.
Rosemont, Illinois.
No, I had my dad for the first one, and I'm having somebody else for the second one.
Chad.
Oh, right. That's random.
Are we going to another show together, bud?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll go to a show together.
But,
Stay tuned on the
See if it happens.
12th podcast if we actually did go.
If we ended up going,
The
So I think
aggressive
that's- I think
lean
that's
from
about it.
Chris
I
is
think that's
making
about
his mic drop. Why is my mic singing?
but yeah. But
All right, so
yeah, I think we're
that is
done.
it, yeah.
We lost one of our members.
actually, Contrøller. Thank you
Yeah,
guys for
and we
tuning
actually
in.
already lost one of the cameras, so
Thank you guys for tuning in. We
Yeah.
are Contrøller from Fort Wayne.
Thank you.
I am buzzing right now.
yeah. So, all right.
Stir your drinks.
Stir your
Yes.
drinks.
Just
Shaken,
telling you.
not stirred.
All right. We love
Either
you.
or.
Love you guys.
All right.
Later.
Be safe, everybody.
Sorry.
Thank you for listening to Actually Controller. If you liked what you heard, please consider following us on all our socials. You can easily find us on all the different platforms by going to linktree/controller33 or scan the QR code if you are watching the video version of this episode. Thank you.